So a first home game, a first competitive game for Ryan Giggs in charge of Wales, and there are a few firsts in his lineup as well as the manager looks to usher in the next generation. 4 players making their first competitive starts for Wales, all of them 22 and under. 17-year-old Ethan Ampadu's the youngest. He's joined by David Brooks, Chris Meffam and Connor Roberts. Gareth Bale missed the last meeting with Ireland here last October, but the Wales all-time record scorer fit and raring to go. Martin O'Neill comes here with a severely depleted squad for one reason or another. No absence will be more keenly felt than that of James McLean, who scored the winner here in the last meeting. He's out with a broken wrist. But Seamus Coleman is a notable inclusion. He starts his first competitive match since before he broke his leg against Wales 18 months ago. The stage is set. The Ryan Giggs era in charge of Wales with his first competitive action comes next.
Get Sky Fibre now for just €30 a month. With our broadband, your world is limitless. Whether it's streaming your favourite music or chatting with loved ones. Plus, it's super fast and totally unlimited. So live beyond with Sky Fibre for just €30 a month for 12 months. Simply search Sky Fibre.
We're in Cardiff tonight for Wales against the Republic of Ireland, familiar foes from World Cup qualification. Bruising encounters, weren't they, those matches in Dublin and here in Cardiff? Seamus Coleman breaking his leg, costing him a year of his career. And Wales, well, they were denied the chance to take on the World Cup qualification playoffs. That James McLean goal doing the damage. Keith Andrews is alongside me in the commentary box here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Different competition, Keith, but will there be any sort of residual resentment from recent meetings?
Wales obviously won't be happy with the way it ended and got into the playoffs against Denmark. Couldn't capitalise on that, but I would suggest this has the feel of a first game of an opening traditional campaign. Not quite the edge we sensed last October. Gareth Bale back in. The wonder was, where was he going to start? He will be as that focal point striker. Often the Chris Holman trainee plays a second striker, and what a good news it is for Irish fans to have their captain fantastic back. Leads by example.
Well, a big contrast in respective build-ups. Ireland have had insults, they've had injuries with plenty of withdrawals. Wales, well, they have the positivity about the new dawn. Ryan Giggs, who's had a sprinkling of friendlies to get a feeling of the job, but this is where business really starts for him. And Gareth Bale leading the line, putting the pressure on Ireland early on. Ampadu putting in a challenge. The French referee, Clement Turpin, giving the free kick to Ireland. And it's a big show of faith, isn't it, for young Ethan Ampadu, preferred to the likes of Joe Ledley in the engine room. And you know, against the Republic of Ireland, it's going to be a physical contest, don't you?
He's going to have to do a lot of screening, especially from scenarios like this. It's very much set up. Duffy normally the target. Ethan Ampadu screening.
Ben Davies got his head to that one. Here's Christie. Ampadu brings it out for Wales. Aaron Ramsey leading the charge for the home side. Bale tearing through the middle. Ramsey very nearly picking him out first time. As it is, the touch does carry it through to Gareth Bale. Allen thundered away by the Republic of Ireland. Wales looking menacing in these opening exchanges.
Full of energy, as you would expect. Ampadu settling nicely, uses the ball well. Aaron Ramsey will look to get forward. It certainly looks like Ampadu will be the one holding. Maybe Joe Allen might be the one a little bit more responsible. Ramsey the licence to get forward. It's big call from Ryan Giggs to play Ampadu. Huge vote of confidence.
Well, whether it's by design or whether it's to make a statement, but there's a notable different feel to the Wales starting lineup from that which competed and was so successful under Chris Coleman. If you take the template of their Euro 2016 success and that wonderful win against Belgium, then there are notable absentees for one reason or another. And Purdue may well have fouled his man Robertson there, but nothing given. And Purdue sliding in. Lots of bodies there. Take a bit of clearing in the end by Lawrence. And this is David Brooks, one of Ryan Giggs' debutants. Rangy ball looking for Gareth Bale. Duffy getting it away.
It's an outstanding ball. David Brooks on the right-hand side, trusted his weaker right foot. Very aware of the space that Gareth Bale had on the far side. Trusted it. He started well in his Premier League career at Bournemouth.
Ashley Williams underneath this. Talk about the fresh faces that Ryan Giggs has introduced, but there are some very familiar ones in there, and Ashley Williams among that, the Wales captain. Just wouldn't sit down for Horan on the edge of the penalty area. Ward coming forward here. The Republic of Ireland baring their teeth in an attacking sense for the first time. This is O'Dowda. Lawrence for Bale. Here comes Gareth Bale. Just got caught up under his feet and on his way back. Kieran Clark couldn't get it all the way back to Randolph.
Certainly isn't the start that would have anticipated from Ireland. Fully expected them to sit back, retreat ground on a couple of occasions now. They've shown that they are susceptible to the counter-attack. We know the pace Wales do have in their midst.
Well, they're strong travellers, aren't they, Ireland? Nearly 3 years since they last lost a competitive away game. Last competitive defeat was in Warsaw against Poland, and that was in a European Championship qualifier back in October 2015. And the recipe for success on the road tends to be keeping it tight, clean sheets. That's what they managed to do here against a Wales side that was lacking Gareth Bale in that final qualification match. The winner takes all encounter last October. Ashley Williams
worked that really well. Ampadu very comfortable. You know, he's played centre half, dropping into right side of centre half ball to get them playing, to provide that extra man. Hennessy showing lots of confidence, real intent with the way Wales have started.
Here is Ampadu picking the pass to Connor Roberts. Allen. That's a lovely ball slid in for Lawrence. Tom Lawrence bulges the back of the Irish net. A thumbs up from Ryan Giggs. It's a sizzling start from Wales. They lead Ireland inside 6 minutes.
Well, they've settled well. They've been full of confidence, full of energy. Ampadu spraying it wide. Brooks inside a little channel. Keep an eye on top of the screen. Tom Lawrence just a run down the side. Joe Allen finds him. The weight of pass is exceptional. Kieran Clark, it's too easy. Drops the shoulder. Runs in behind. It's a clear way Ryan Giggs wants to play, full of energy. How well does he finish this? Darren Randolph, no chance. Playing well for club this season. Different shape, different way of playing, and he's relishing it.
Early days, but encouraging signs. Tom Lawrence's third goal for his country, his 14th cap. Forget what we were saying about the clean sheet template away from home. That's gone up in smoke. And we'll need to do it a different way, coming from behind. Cyrus Christie's cross is blocked by Ben Davis. The referee's just had a word with Ashley Williams. He's spotted that there's a code violation. He's not wearing his captain's armband. Well, he should be used to the armband. It's his 7th year as captain since he was given the armband. And took over from Aaron Ramsey.
You can see the clear way they want to play. Ryan Giggs, which would it be evolution, revolution? It's fairly revolution in terms of team selection, and the way they're trying to play already, I think it's more of energy.
Lawrence has got beyond Coleman, but just showed a little too much of that to Duffy, who he then barged into. You can understand that the adrenaline's coursing through Tom Lawrence, who started the season pretty well for Derby, hasn't he, in the Championship?
Yeah, I think the new way Derby are trying to play at club level, a little bit more on the front foot. Just the way Ryan Giggs has been speaking about the way he wants to approach games. You can see the willingness of runners to run in beyond. Let's not forget, Lawrence is supposed to be the left winger, finds himself as a centre forward in that move, which ended with a magnificent strike and goal.
Ampadu to Brooks. Ampadu was caught late there. Hourahan pleading his case to the French referee, but he's going to have a talking to here at the very least.
Huge role for him tonight. Without a recognised holding midfielder, I would suggest Ireland. He is tenacious. Hourahan is a little bit late.
you think back to that game here, I know different time, different competition, but David Myler wore the captain's armband that night for the Republic of Ireland, didn't he? Put in an astonishing performance, really.
He's a firm favourite of Martin O'Neill's as well, Bill. He really is. He's played a lot of big games for his country. Assumed he would have started tonight, and if not him, possibly Sean Williams. More defence-minded. Jeff Hendrick and Conor Horan like to play on the front foot, like to get forward. The way this Wales team have set up, there's spaces in and around them currently.
Here's Metham. Allen to Brooks. Wow, what a show of confidence that is. He felt he was caught late, but Stephen Ward was suckered in no uncertain terms.
Just moving the ball so sharp, so bright, the movement's there. The Welsh perspective. Looks like he's enjoying his evening. And David Brooks.
Here's Goldman. Defensively and in an attacking sense will be important for Ireland. Got a few words to say to Tom Lawrence.
So Wales very much set up as we anticipated. Allen alongside Ampadu in midfield. Ireland slightly different. You can see Callum Robinson just playing off Jonathan Walters. O'Dowda may well be the one to provide the extra body in midfield, a little bit more physicality. He's playing just off the left.
Well, we talked about all the Welsh debutants. Callum Robinson, it's a big evening for the Preston man, isn't it, given his full debut here?
It does give us something that we are very much missing, and that is pace. Cyrus Christie obviously will from the right-hand side. More of a wing-back by nature anyway, so not a huge issue for me, him playing there. Dowda from the left.
And produce spreading play very effectively to the goal scorer Lawrence. Bale calling for it. Brooks. Allen. Ramsey. Allen. Bale pulling the strings but losing out. Christie's going to have to go some to get there before Allen, something he was unable to do. It was a key moment in that previous meeting, wasn't it, when Joe Allen had to go off. He was running the show. I felt it was a real turning point in the match, actually.
Yeah, I did, very much so. We were already missing Gareth Bale. Wales gave Ireland that optimism that they didn't have to deal with him. Obviously shepherded him quite well in the encounter in Dublin when the unfortunate incident happened to Seamus Coleman. Joe Allen, who really feel he is a big heartbeat of this side, gets them ticking over. Will be allowed to get forward on occasion now, with Ampadu being that security blanket alongside him.
Hendrick. Conor. Ben Davis is back there, but this is Christie now for the Republic of Ireland. O'Dowda. Deflection meant that he had to readjust in the Welsh goal. Well, Wayne Hennessy.
Picks up a good position. Callum O'Dowda trips in from the left-hand side. Good little pocket of space, straight out of his feet. It's a little nick off Ashley Williams. Not really troubling Hennessy.
Wales keen to spring forward. Brooks trying to pop it up for Gareth Bale. Bale's challenge deemed a foul.
Looks so sharp, Wales, when they get in and around. On in defence, no doubt it. Very little in that. Bale just leaves a little bit on. He's in disbelief.
Underneath this. from an offside position. Well, the fact that James McLean is here tells you about his commitment, even though he's unable to play. He's just had an operation on his broken wrist, but raced here to the Welsh capital to support the team that he drove beyond Wales with that goal early in the second half that Chris Coleman's side couldn't respond to.
He's a firm fan's favourite, sets the tone more often than not. Some vital away goals as well. The last 5 competitive goals away from home have come from James McLean. More important than in this stadium.
It wasn't single-handedly, but no one put in a more significant contribution in taking the Republic of Ireland to the playoffs than him. I think that's fair to say. And Purdue.
Rotation of the Welsh front three is causing all kinds of problems. Bale, who's on that occasion, was on the right-hand side. Lawrence recognises there's no focal point centre forward. Roams inside. Difficult. Duffy and Clark need to be very aware of that rotation.
Purdue's been showcasing his range of passing early on. He's invited Davis forward there. Bale's head up.
Set so well, range of passing, not a problem. Head up, finds it, touch inside. Ben Davis, very difficult effort to generate all the power. Gareth Bale.
It's a fascinating section, this one, that Wales and Ireland find themselves in. The footballing fates have been at work, haven't they? Wales beaten to the playoffs by Ireland, Ireland beaten in the playoffs by Denmark. They're all thrown together. A makeshift, I think it's fair to say, Denmark side, beaten in Slovakia last night with the part-timers and futsal players. News emerging this evening that an agreement's been made with the Danish FA and the players who were effectively on strike, so it will be a full-strength Danish side that Wales will play in Aarhus on Sunday. Martin O'Neill will be pleased about that. He made his displeasure felt. The situation could potentially be favourable for Wales. Speaking of which, it's Gareth Bale on the ball. It's Gareth Bale shooting! And Gareth Bale scoring! He's enjoying that. Everyone inside this stadium's enjoying that. The Magic Man is at it again.
Well, it looked dangerous from the off. It left 2v2 at the back. Clark and Duffy, only one thought in Gareth Bale's mind. Dropped the shoulder, come inside on his favourite left foot. He's been so sharp, so bright. We know he favours this right-hand side channel. He's got to keep him on his right foot. But what a strike that is from Gareth Bale to put Wales in a convincing lead.
Muted celebrations from the manager. Not so from the record goal scorer. That's 30 now for Wales, for Gareth Bale. His hat-trick against China in the tournament that they played over there saw him overtake Ian Rush and become the all-time record scorer, and I think we know that there are many more to come. A sort of contribution that sends a buzz around the whole stadium. Still an electricity in the air after that one. And it's been an electrifying start by Wales. Simply too hot to handle so far for Martin O'Neill's side.
They've been so sharp, so bright, clear idea of how they want to play the game. Rotations in midfield, dropping into spaces to try and get a possession-based game. They want to go, but ahead of that, it's been so impressive, the movement of the front three. Aaron Ramsey playing central in dangerous areas off the back of Jeff Hendrick, Conor Horan. Lawrence in particular, I feel, really shone, roaming in from the left, licensed to roam, licensed to try and cause that back line of Ireland real problems.
Well, in terms of his league contribution with Real Madrid this season, he's hit the ground running, taking up the role of main man there, the role that he for some time has had for his country. Scored a pretty special goal on Saturday against Galés. It's another one to add to his international catalogue here. 11 in his last 15 home competitive internationals. 27 in his last 41. These are impressive numbers. Messi's clearance straight to the Irish captain Coleman. It's going to be particularly painful for watching Irish eyes, because what we're seeing here is the stark illustration of the difference in available resources for this match. You mentioned the Welsh attacking sense, and you look at John Walters, who's back at Ipswich now. He's only played one match for them, and a debutant behind him in Callum Robinson.
It's difficult, there's no getting away from it, Phil. The last few months, one of the real positivities has been Declan Rice. That's obviously not gone to plan currently. Hopefully that can resurrect itself, but the build-up has obviously been far from ideal. When you look at some of the players that are missing from this, it really is devastating. You can't really condone that type of one, but Martin's got to get on, he's got to try and keep positivity around this Ireland camp. I really thought going into this game it would have been a case of being difficult to beat. I can't believe how open at times they're doing, certainly at the back, 2v2 at the back.
Well, it's been an awkward week, hasn't it? Roy Keane attracting a lot of headlines for his apparent bust-up with Harry Arter that saw the Cardiff City man. Of course, he's on loan from Bournemouth here at Cardiff and would have been playing on his home ground, but not to be. Duffy's header. Alberta looking to get round Ampadu. Morohan. Here's Ward.
Oh, it's got to go in the box. But Stephen Ward half got it in. Did he have the angle as it comes back to Horan? Clark, Duffy still in and around the 18-yard box, awaiting the cross. Did it come?
Well, Ethan Ampadu yet to feature for Chelsea's first team this season. He got a handful of appearances last season and a few starts in the cup competitions under Antonio Conte. Largely in that midfield position that he's been asked to play by Ryan Giggs tonight. Opportunity knocks here for Ireland, their first corner of the evening.
The lads alluded to it in the studio. Very dangerous. Duffy being the main target as he makes his way forward. He managed really to get Callum Robinson in the game as much as they would have wanted. Ireland need to try and utilise that pace.
Walters making a nuisance of himself in there with Davis and Hennessy arguing their case. Hennessy taking control, getting a decent distance on the punch. It's Christie though for Republic of Ireland. Robinson, the big boys have stayed forward inside the Welsh penalty area. A bit of pushing and shoving in there. I think Clark was the one who offended as the ball came through to Duffy.
Kept the ball alive well from the corner kick. Cyrus Christie, good positioning as it gets recycled towards Callum Robinson. It's Duffy right at the back post. Needless, right in front of our referee. On Turpin's eyes. think this opening 24-25 minutes will have summed up the build-up to the game. There was such optimism around the Welsh camp, and there was huge questions how many of those young prodigious talents he would let loose this evening. They've settled so well in a real era of negativity around the Irish camp, particularly in the last couple of weeks. All these players missing. It's very much gone to plan from both camps, you would assume.
Brooks has won it back for Wales. Allen. Here's Bale. Red shirts pouring forward. Now gets the break. So it's brought out here by Cyrus Christie, who does have support. It's a 3-on-2 situation for Ireland. Can they play it right? Now Williams came across to block. Now Robinson. Out by Davis. Feeling they could have made more of that kid.
I didn't think Callum Robinson helped this scenario. Should have kept wider and made it a simpler pass. That's when he elected to pass the Walters angle on his side, but that's the game plan. The pace in wide areas, in particular Cyrus Christie, although by trade a fullback, has got blistering pace.
Wales rattling in a couple of early goals. Memories may go back to when it all fell apart against Denmark in the second leg of that playoff. Christian Eriksen, the heartbeat of the Danish side, that destroyed them on that occasion. 5-1 it ended up. Foul by Ashley Williams on Walters.
Again, Wales looking to play from the back. As it goes back to Hennessy. Goes forward, Walters just gets his body across. Ashley Williams, experience from John Walters.
In terms of availability for this contest, Ireland don't have the raw materials that are available for Ryan Giggs. We've touched on that already, but they do have the pieces in place to cause serious set-piece problems. Hendrick standing over it. In by Hendrick, and Ashley Williams gets it away for a corner.
Difficult angle, runs, trying to cause problems. Never too far from the action, always the target.
Back it comes to Hendrick with low delivery, glanced away by Gareth Bell in that near post area. O'Dowda fully offside against Duffy. The flag goes up.
Not quite sure why Duffy kept it in play in the first place. Now for a corner kick. They're caught 2v2 at the back. What's a ball by Ben Davis? Bale inside right channel, should be showing him line. He's got support inside. Could Stephen Ward have done slightly better? Cannot take anything away from that strike. World class from a world class player.
Goal from Gareth Bale, the second, by the way, adding to the first, which came from Tom Lawrence. He was slid in. Excellent pass from Joe Allen, and it's Lawrence inside the penalty area here. Through to Brooks.
Well, again, it's the rotation. Those forward-thinking players. Bale this time finds himself on the left. Lawrence becomes the striker. Brooks first touch, really good, opens the space. He elects to take the shot on numbers around it. Difficult.
When you look at the players that Eddie Howe and Bournemouth have signed, and the way that he likes to get them to settle in, and usually they have to wait for their chance. It's testament to the potential of David Brooks, isn't it? That I know he's on the bench and unused against Chelsea last time out, but prominently featured in the first 3 games, didn't he?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of his games live. He's settled very, very well. Hasn't phased him. Let's not forget Sheffield Derby last year took that by storm, so very, very capable of playing in big stages, and I thought it was a good move from him.
Yeah, that's part of £12 million Bournemouth paid Sheffield United for his services. This is Conor Hourihane sizing up his options. Half an hour played at the Cardiff City Stadium. Coleman. Christie. And Purdue there to block for Wales. Clark's header. Williams underneath it. Joe Allen tearing around. And it's an intelligent pass out into the path of Brooks. Wales up and at him again. Brooks for Lawrence. Still Lawrence. Randolph able to save.
And yet again, counter-attacking football at its best. David Brooks just covers the ground so easily. Ghosts away from Callum Robinson. Composure to find Lawrence, chops inside all the bodies, gets his shot off. It's a good parry by Randolph.
It's always a good sign of young players feeling they belong. I mean, there must be when you come into a side and you've got the stars like this man Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale, that you feel you should be giving them the ball, but they are picking the right passes, aren't they?
I think that shows how calm and confident they are in their own ability. You hit the nail on the head. You play with those big personalities, big players. Sometimes there is that eagerness to try and find them when it's not the right pass. It simply hasn't been the case. And the rotation, we're seeing Brooks as the focal point. Gareth Bale out onto the right-hand side. He's clearly, Ryan Giggs, giving them license to roam, license to cause this back four of Ireland real problems.
It's not a sellout at the Cardiff City Stadium tonight, but when you consider that a lot of the core Welsh support are based in North Wales, schools have just gone back, and long summer holidays, a crowd of approaching 30,000. We reckon there are going to be about 27,000 in tonight. That's pretty healthy. This is the scoreline from a Welsh perspective. It's popping up on the left now for Wales. A bewildering variety to their play. Bale. Davis. Out by Hourihane.
That's what's impressed me about Wales in this opening 33-34 minutes. Hasn't just been keep ball for keep ball's sake. There's been a real intent of the way they play it. Can they play forward? They're doing it.
Ben Davis with the ball, and it's just glanced wide by the right back, Connor Roberts.
Well, I think this pretty much sums things up. Connor Roberts, bottom of the screen, keep an eye on him. What a ball this is by Ben Davis, right on the money, splits the two centre-halves. And Connor Roberts, his third cap, should have scored. Magnificent run from the full-back. Very much epitomises the way that this Welsh side have approached the game. One full-back to the other. Very nearly comes off. He's got to be very pleased, hasn't he?
puts back in defensive mode. Rather sliced that one. It meant that Ben Davies had to scurry across and get it out of play. Good cut back there for Robinson, and that's the best moment of the first half as far as the Republic of Ireland are concerned.
Best chance by a country distance. No surprise to see Seamus Coleman heavily involved. Lovely little give and go with Hendrick. Great first touch, he pulls it back and he's got to hit the target as it comes back. Should be meeting it with conviction. Minimum hit the target and work Hennessy.
Half a few chances from Martin O'Neill's side. That was one, a big one. Gareth Bale. You could almost see the trepidation in Darren Randolph. He knew something was coming towards him that might be hard to handle.
Just far too much space. Those front players to drop into pockets. The movement I've already alluded to on a few occasions has been very impressive. Brooks, Lawrence, Joe Allen joining in at the right occasions. No, Aaron Ramsey will make those runs forward to create space. Gareth Bale, you cannot keep giving him time and space like that.
Who has stolen it. He's found Aaron Ramsey as well, who finds the bottom corner. Wales side their way through the Republic of Ireland and hit a third, and they are pulling away before half-time. It's been breathtaking stuff from Ryan Giggs' side, 3-0.
What a start to Ryan Giggs' competitive managerial career. It's turning into a horror show from an Irish perspective. Look how open the team is. Good ball into John Walters. He gets pickpocketed well by Ampadu. Claims for a foul, but it's like a knife through butter. The weight of pass is exceptional. Ramsey's first touch is excellent. Opens the space up, slightly stretching for the effort. In at the front post. Good Randolph have done slightly better. So many mistakes in the build-up to that goal. Wales do not care. What a first half it's been from them.
I think Ryan Giggs will be a fan of the Nations League. The man to the right of Ryan Giggs is a familiar face, Ossian Roberts. He was on the coaching staff here under Chris Coleman as well, deeply involved with the Welsh FA and the setup, but there are some new faces in there. Albert Stuyvenberg, who's one of the coaches who was at Manchester United under Louis van Gaal. And Ryan Giggs was on the coaching staff there as well.
I think keeping Ossian Roberts was a shrewd move, I really do. Knows the underage system inside out. Nurtured a lot of these young, talented players. Just to that continuity.
On by Walters. Roberts that. We used the word earlier on in the half, Keith, evolution, in terms of taking what was a very healthy situation that was left by Chris Coleman, and he decided not to stick around at the time, decided to take up the job offer at Sunderland. They've taken that and seen what needs to be done in terms of putting his own stamp on it and taking Wales on to the next step, another direction.
I think it's been fairly evident what he's worked on, what he wants to try and do with his team. I'm not quite sure he'll believe they're 3-0 up against a side they lost 1-0 to only 11 months ago. But firstly, the system, he's gone with a back four. He wants to play with wingers, but he wants to give them real license to go and cause the opposition problems, rotations in midfield. Can they play forward like this? They've done it really well. They've played with such confidence.
Well, the Denmark side looking on might go back on strike after watching this and let the futsal players have a go. We'll see how they get on. We have the game live from Aarhus for you on Sunday on the Sky Sports Football channel from 4:30. And it's an international friendly for the Republic of Ireland, who go out to Poland. That's on Tuesday. You can see that on Sky Sports Mix. O'Dowda.
Well, getting into these positions, it's been few and far between. They have got in there, Ireland. Quality has severely been lacking. He won't be able to believe what he's witnessed. Again, straight off the training ground, Ireland pressing Wales, forcing them back. A little bit of movement. Davis dropping into a left-back area. It's Meckham and Ashley Williams push up. Gets them back in comfortable possession, looking to probe.
Bale couldn't quite keep himself onside.
It's just been good to watch from Wales' perspective. Huge energy, huge intent, the willingness to run in behind. You can see Bale clearly in an offside position. And again, he's come from that right-hand side.
In by Hendrick, met by Williams, and away by Allen. Handoff finds O'Dowda. Comes with an element of risk to it. Not a yellow card yet, but it's going to be a talking to here for Tom Lawrence after that challenge.
It hasn't been as a physical encounter we've seen in the last couple of meetings between the two nations. Lawrence here, it's needless really. Stephen Ward didn't have a lot of places to go. The follow through catches him. The reason it's not been as a physical encounter because Ireland haven't been able to get near Wales for much of the half. They've been that bright, that sharp in possession. It's been a tough half for Ireland.
You look in pure competitive terms, and this in the new Nations League is classed as a competitive international. The last couple of games, then, if you include the second leg against Denmark, that's 8 goals conceded by Martin O'Neill's side, and that's a concern. In by Christie. Brooks. We're in rare territory here. Wales have scored more goals in the first half here than they had in the previous 7 meetings against the Republic of Ireland.
They truly deserved it. Go back to those playoff games for Ireland against Denmark. There was a lot of criticism about the 0-0 away from home. I certainly didn't have a problem with that.
This could end up at the feet of Aaron Ramsey. Just bounced away from him, though. The expression on his face tells you exactly how Wales have enjoyed themselves in this first half here in Cardiff tonight.
Again, epitomises the willingness to run in beyond, to stretch the back four. And then, of course, that creates that little bit of space for Bale to drop inside. Brooks on occasions. Lawrence has been very, very effective as well, running in beyond. Been a huge load from those front players, but it's very unselfish at times, the types of runs that they're making. It's not just to get on the ball, it's to create space for their teammates. Yeah, Bill, going back to the Denmark game, no problem. The away performance 0-0. Criticised from certain quarters. For me, Ireland have to be defensively sound. Lack of out-and-out goal scorers makes it very, very difficult. So it's imperative you keep the door shut at the other end, and that simply hasn't been the case in the last 2 competitive games.
Brooks on by Allen. O'Dowda. Andrew trying to find a way through. Knocked away by Meffam. Now comes Hennessy.
Shanks Coleman's gone crazy. The space was out on the right-hand side. Again, Wales comfortable in possession, trying to counter. Ireland retreat. Maximise any of that possession in the Welsh half. Ireland.
It's been a sensational first half for Ryan Giggs and Wales here at the Cardiff City Stadium. 6 minutes on the clock when Lawrence gave them the lead. Gareth Bale doubled that with the pick of the bunch, and Aaron Ramsey